What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Savage Land, and welcome to the last episode of Pallet Picks for 2024. This is actually some of the last toys that was on my pallet. I wanted to save it because I wanted to open these guys all up together. Been waiting about 2 years to complete this team, and Lexington was the last one. I'm a completionist in this line, but I'm not a completionist in this line. I just want the Gargoyles. I might eventually get the girl Gargoyle, but I'm really just interested in the 5 guys and the 6 being the dog Bronx. So I have Lexington, Broadway, Bronx, Hudson, Brooklyn, and then to the right we got my main man Goliath. As far as Gargoyles, my most fondest memories of that cartoon was just being in middle school. I was kind of out of the range of watching cartoons, but it would come on before I went to middle school, like in 8th grade, and of course that voice actor Keith David would draw you in. Keith David, my man from Dead Presidents, Kirby. He has a great deep voice. He played in Spawn, the animated series, and I just remember one line in Dead President. He's like, "I'd rather eat cat shit with a knit needle." And he just has that deep baritone voice. It's real New York too. He talks real fast and quick like some old New Yorkers, and he'll just draw you in, man. So a great cartoon, but just a little bit past my time, so I'm not too deep into it. But come on, how can you deny these Gargoyles? As a 13-year-old, 14-year-old boy, how could I deny it? Even though it wasn't my favorite cartoon, but I would stop and watch it for a little bit, like, hey, this is pretty dope right here. Dope theme song. And like I said, I've been waiting on 2 years to complete this team. Wanted to get this done before 2024 because I believe this is a 2023 thing. If I would have opened it up in time, maybe one of them would have made it on my top 20, but that's just not it. So they got their own episode of Pallet Picks, the last one for 2024. So I'm gonna crack these guys open, just kind of elaborate on each one of them, man, kind of go through them, man, and just see what I think. I know they look wonderful because I was set on Goliath, and I finally can get Goliath's wrapped wings because I don't know why they chose to do the hard plastic wings. They should have did them like how they have Lexington wings, which I heard are kind of like a rubbery plastic, man. But we're gonna see. So let's go ahead and crack these guys open. All right, so now we got the Gargoyles unboxed here, and I'm quite pleased with them. And I also found myself somewhat satisfied. The real main reason of this is I was waiting until I got, I believe, Lexington, the little guy here on the far left, to fully unveil these, because I didn't really want to do it one by one. I'd rather see them all in a group together, and it'll help me make a decision like, was this worth it? And seeing them all in a group together, decision is yes. What this whole thing is about, this Pallet Pick is about, is, was this thing worth chasing? And this is for the people, it's been 2 years later, like you never bought Goliath, you just kind of or finding out about it now, or kind of getting to around to where, okay, I want to build this team just like I was. I had Goliath and I had brought none within like a year and a half, 2 years. And finally got the whole team acquired within the past 6 or 7 months. And I'm glad I did it, man. It's a good looking set. There are some standouts in this set that I like the most. I'm going to say I like Brooklyn, the one that's in the middle with the shades and kind of like the jousting weapon. And Broadway beside him, he's kind of more of the bubbly one. He's almost like Michelangelo for them. He likes to eat a lot. He goes to the movies. I believe he accidentally shot Elisa, I believe that's the woman's name, once in an episode, just kind of toying around with a gun she left around. Then the little guy, Lexington, I believe he was like a child, and I believe Bronx was the dog. Hudson in the back on the far left was the oldest one. I believe they say if you have holes in your wings as a gargoyle, that shows your age. And he is the only one that has holes in his wings, which we'll go through. By the way, here's the wings. That doesn't sound good at all. I hate that shit, yo. But I can kind of understand them. And speaking of Hudson wings, you see how his wings has holes in it? All right, so we'll start with my 2 favorite. If you guys hear some boom pow in the background, it's New Year's Eve. People are shooting fireworks. But we'll start with my 2 favorite. Brooklyn and Bronx, 2 rough boroughs, and 2 of my favorite. I wouldn't necessarily say characters with Gargoyles because I didn't get into it too much to have a favorite character, but favorite toy out of this NECA line. And I really love Brooklyn. You can see his extra head sculpt with the shades. He has the long white hair, has some shading in it, has some washed throughout the body so you can see the different muscle tones. See, he's got the wings plugged in, and they're not bad looking. They just take up a lot of real estate, and they're made of that hard, brittle plastic. Has 4 extra hand sculpts. 2 fists, got like a gripping hand thing. It's kind of got like a sprawled out finger hand on there. I think he has one of the better weapons. Has like a jousting kind of like a joust on him, man. That is pretty good. Feels pretty good as far as the plastic, and the paint on it is pretty good. Also, the shades on him are removable. You can take them on and off. And then on his secondary head sculpt that he has in his hand, it also has an articulated jaw, and it's always fun with an articulated jaw. Bronx didn't come with much, which is a dog. I believe he used to be a dog. He got turned into a gargoyle also. He came with Goliath's soft, pliable, lay down wings. But his second head sculpt, which is on the ground, you see pretty much that he has an articulated jaw also, with some script in his mouth that actually Brooklyn came with. Also, he came like a piece of bark or something. Looks like a whole tree log cut. That's pretty much his play toy. His head that's on him is a fixated head, but he feels really good. In the middle, he's kind of soft and pliable, almost kind of like a Storm collectible, and then his limbs are real hard. But both of these figures are dope. If I wasn't chasing the all 6 gargoyles, which include Bronx, I concluded him as a gargoyle too, I would be getting these 2, and because they are just great figures. Oh, also tail has bendy wire in it. Has double jointed arms, legs, no thigh cut, no boot cut. But with NECA, you're dealing with more than just the articulation. They're going to give you a better aesthetic of a toy, man. And this Bronx and Brooklyn, to me, are the 2 best ones out of this bunch. Broadway and Lexington. And we'll start with Broadway, which is the bright blue gargoyle here. He's the most vibrant looking one. I like his color aesthetic the best. His wings look good. He has like a nice processed blue paint. Pretty much same articulation as the rest. Like I said, articulation is not the big thing here. It's pretty much how these guys look. And they look like they jumped straight off the cartoon show. Once again, everybody has pretty much the same amount of hands. 2 fists, 2 gripping, 2 sprawling. I think with him, he has the most personal accessories. He comes with the piece of like turkey leg or chicken, has a bag of popcorn because he likes to go to the movies, henceforth his name is Broadway. Like I said, I didn't watch this show heavy, but to me it seemed like he was more like the Michelangelo type. He's the one who accidentally shot the lady cop friend that they have, and he has like a piece of asparagus, I believe, that it's like a running gag with them. Of course, he has the bendy wire tail, and then he has 2 weapons that only King Arthur could really sit back and be proud of: a mace and an axe that's really detailed. Of course, no gummy plastic. Is not Hasbro, so NECA's gonna look out for you on that. But I really like him. He's my second favorite. Well, third favorite, second or third favorite behind the dog. But Brooklyn is my favorite. Also, we got Lexington, and I'm glad I just seen that. As you can see, like his wing is popped out of his back. He's the only one that doesn't have these hard plastic wings that kind of like fixated in this rubber. But as soon as you move his arms, that back peg pops out, man. So he's kind of hard, not really to deal with, but that is actually a pain in the butt. He's kind of, I believe he was a kid. He looks like he has like some type of remote control. He has a headset there on his head. He has the same amount of hands as everybody else. Looks like he has 2 fists, 2 gripping hands, and kind of a sprawled out hand. Now, I will say this. He has a crossbow that only Scarlet from G.I. Joe could adore, man. I mean, this damn thing looks real damn good. I mean, this looks like it's real wood that I'm holding in my hand here with the handle, man. But this shit is fat. Has a chain on it. Like, this is definitely going to get used in something else. It's going to become fodder for the rest of the Savage Land. But has some small arrows that you are really probably going to lose within a year's time. Okay? I mean, this is teeny tiny. But great figure. I would say he's like the fourth one I like out of all of them. But these 2 are still good figures. Then up next, we got my main man, Hudson. He's like the elder out of all these guys, and he's pretty cool. There's a lot of detail on him. Not too much going on with him. has the same amount of hands, 2 fists, 2 gripping, 2 sprawling, and then he comes with his weapon, which is like a saber or a sword. Like I said, he has holes in his wing because he's like the elder of them. Also comes with a second head scope, and the second head scope is more of their like ferocious head scope. For the most part, these guys are bubbly guys, and that's what the kind of whole concept of the show is. Like a gargoyle is supposed to be something scary and ferocious, but actually they're the heroes, so they have some type of morality about them. And like I said, this guy's the elder statesman of them, and he's pretty cool, but he's kind of like my least favorite. His body is kind of built like a snowman. He has the abdominal cut, but he's more of like a rounder guy. It's almost like two mounds on top of each other. So his articulation in the middle is kind of funny to me, but he's actually a good figure, but he's like my least favorite. And Hudson's not my least favorite. I lied. It's Goliath. And Goliath looks good, but Goliath, there's not too much going on with him, man. The more unique ones are the guys who are the up under him. What is cool about him, he has a pliable laydown cape. Wings that forms like a cape. And I thought those would be hard plastic, but it's very pliable. It moves around very good. But I don't know what it is. I thought I could get his head to look up more. Maybe it's because the wings, that his head is kind of fixated down like that. But Goliath's not a bad figure. He's just purple. Seems like these other guys got a little bit more put into him, and should be. You waited long enough on this figure. But like I said, all of these guys together make up a good team, man. And like I said, to get these guys, it's almost like they're a tandem. Not a tandem. Tandem is 2. They're a team. For me, I'd rather have all of them than just 1 or 2. They are quite costly, $35 a piece, and NECA hardly ever has clearance sales. Either you want them or not. That shit will sit on the shelf for 3 years. But I took my time. It took me a course of over 7 or 8 months, and really 2 years with Goliath being the first, to obtain these guys. I got Goliath 2 years ago, got Bronx about a year ago, and then the rest of these 4 guys came in the past 6 or 7 months, man. But a pretty good crew altogether, as far as if you're looking for sculpt and paint, even articulation. Even though the articulation isn't better than, let's say, Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe Classified or any other line, they do have double jointed arms. They do have bicep swivel. They do have ankle rockets, and of course other like little hinges in their toes because they're gargoyles and beasts. And they are they do feel quality. You just have to be careful with NECA because it's just a little bit more delicate than other action figure lines. But that's going to be the last palette picks for 2023. I just felt it right to get these guys in because I've been after them not really so long, but it's been a long time to actually put this team together and be like, okay, now I actually have all the core gargoyles besides the girl, but these are the ones I remember. I believe that girl came a little bit later on into it, man. But I say it's worth it. It's definitely enough love put into it. Whoever decided to make these, they didn't hold any stops. They gave them little inside jokes, inside little accessories, and they're good figures, man. NECA's always going to bring it, and I think this was the right company to do this line. But this is the Pallet Picks. This is the last episode of Pallet Picks for 2023. We do this for the love and beauty of action figures, NECA Gargoyles. If you can, give me a like, comment, subscribe, or hit me on my Instagram at @Geppetto910. And with that being said, until 2024, God bless.